Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and today we'll be having a look at this coming Saturday's meeting here at Fanny Bay, which is the 24th of April. This feature day of racing is normally held on Anzac Day, the 25th of April, but this year Alice Springs has their feature Chief Minister's Cup Day on that date. As has come to be expected at this time of the year, with Alice in full swing, the fields are a little on the light side, but the 5 races have held up on Saturday, and it is expected that some 30 horses will contest those 5 races. Racing gets underway at the mid-afternoon time of 3:07 p.m, with the last time to go at 5:25 p.m. The opener is the Battle of the Neck Trobus Handicap. It's a 1300 metre event for the Class 2 gallopers, and my numbers in the first are 1, 3 and 2. Can be a little mixing of his form, God's Penny, number 1, but was a good winner 3 starts back. That was the 5th of February. Then missed, was down the track on the 13th of March, but a better run last time on the 9th of April behind Extolment, beaten 2.5 lengths into 3rd. Jared Todd takes the mount for Gary Clark. That combination obviously needs no introduction. And if God's Penny puts his best foot forward, he'll be very hard to beat here over the 1300 metres, at which he has won before. In for second, number 3, Cuban Mint. Vanessa Arnott for Jason Manning. Vanessa had a good day here last Friday. And Cuban Mint up and trip from last time over 1100, win 3rd behind Must Be Moe. That was just a week ago. And that was a good run and came off the back of a previous win in December. So Cuban Mint, as long as it backs up from that race last week, should be in the mix. And in for third, number 2, Mr. Rourke, a rather new addition to the Chris Nash stables. Had the 1 start in Darwin. That was on the 9th of April behind its very smart stablemate in May Amin. That was only a 1,000 metre race. The step up to 1,300 will suit better, and Wayne Davis takes them out. In the first, 1, 3 and 2. The second's the Anzac Day Handicap. It's the benchmark 76, the highest graded race of the day, and it's over 1,300 metres. My numbers here are 3, 4 and 5. Going here with the Gary Clark trained Captain Apollo to go back-to-back. Jared Todd takes the mount. Was a winner here on the 9th of April over 1,600 metres. So dropping down in trip and going up a little bit in class, but he's very capable on his day, Captain Apollo. He's won 12 races from 58 starts, and I think now he's got his foot back on the till again. I think he can go on with the job. 3 on top. To beat the stablemate Escondido, Wayne Davis aboard for Clarkey. Last start was over 1,200 metres behind the smart Papalette. So going up in trip and coming, we're actually about the same grade really, but the increase in distance will help this horse. He's really a horse that wants further than the 1,300 metres, probably out to a mile and beyond, but he's a class act, and I've got him in to run second. And in for third, last week's winner, number 5, Maserati, trained by Nicole Brueggemann. Didn't she have a day out last Friday with 3 wins? And Vanessa Arnott, who rode this horse a week ago, takes the mount again. Well, that was over 1,600 metres, so back in trip for Saturday, but now it's found winning form, should go on with the job. 3, 4 and 5 in the second. The third's the Thank You Defence Personnel Handicap, and obviously they do a great job, our Australian Defence personnel, as they do all over the world, of course. This one over 1,200 metres, the benchmark 54. Numbers here 2, 1 and 6. He never really competed at all last week, Bon Air. He reared as the gates opened. Young rider Alice Lindsay banged ahead in the gates and then came to grief. That was 2 weeks ago, actually, on the 9th of April. So 1,200 metres again, that's what it was meant to be last time out, in the benchmark 54. So same race again, and I had him on top last time. No reason to go off him as long as he jumps away with them, and Alice can hold her seat. I think he'll be hard to beat, number 2, Bon Air. He had been racing in really good form prior to that loss of rider here a fortnight ago, so no reason to suggest he won't go on with it. Number 2, to beat his stablemate, number 1, Art of More, Wayne Davis for Phil Cole. Last started here on the 9th of April, finished 4th behind Choice Approach. Now, since then, Choice Approach has come out and won again, so the form lines around this horse look pretty good, and I didn't mind that run for 4th, probably just would improve with the run. Number 1, Art of More, and in for third, number 6, Light and Dark. Jason Manning and Vanessa Arnott combine here. Good second here a fortnight ago behind Choice Approach, and as we mentioned, Choice Approach has won again since, so the form lines once again look fairly strong. In the third, 2, 1 and 6. The fourth's the Rosemary Handicap. It's over 1,200 metres for the 0 to 64 gallopers. A field of half a dozen to go around here. 1, 2 and 5 for me. Could be a pretty good day for the Clark stable. I'm going here with number 1, Patria. Jared Todd aboard. Really consistent galloper, Patria. And third last time behind Papalette. That was in 0 to 76 company. So way down in grade to the 64. That was 1,200. This is 1,200. I think Patria is probably the best bet of the day. 1 on top for me. To beat number 2, Torchbearer from the Cold stable. Alice Lindsay aboard. Good to see Alice back in race action on Saturday. Of course, she had that slight concussion from 2 weeks ago when coming off Bon Air. Pleased to say she's been back riding work this last few days and rearing to go, I can tell you. Torchbearer, up and trip, down in grade. Very consistent galloper, sure to be in the mix here. And in for third, an interesting one here, number 5, Bar Gem. Barry Huppert's aboard, and good to see Normie Bracken back with a horse on race day. One of our very good, very best trainers is Normie in the twilight of his training career these days, but really, really good trainer. Was a very good jockey too, and a Palmerston here way back in the 1970s. This horse has been racing on the grass in Adelaide, so first run back in the top end, but he has had 4 wins on the dirt in Alice Springs. And he has raced pretty well here in Darwin in the past. So I'm putting him in for third. 1, 2 and 5 in the fourth. And then the last, the Light Horsemen Handicap, time to go at 5:25. Over the 1,100 metres, numbers here 5, 3 and 6. Familiar for me. It may be a little bit of odds too. Philip Cole does the training, Wayne Davis in the saddle. Second last time out to May Amin. Was well beaten by over 7 lengths on that occasion, but the form's really solid. Has never been hardly out of the money, and it's half a dozen starts here in Darwin. Familiar. Up and trip from the 1,000 to the 1,100. I don't think it'll worry it. Not the strongest field I've ever seen, so I think it can get the chocolates. 5 on top. To beat number 3, Blue Jean Baby, fresh up for Gary Lafoe. Kim Gladwin aboard. Hasn't raced since the 19th of December. Did win in its last campaign back late last year. Had a winner, second and a fourth. And I think can resume with a bold showing first up. And in for third, number 6, last week's winner Must Be Moe. Nicole Brueggemann trains. Jessie Philpott visiting again from Alice Springs. Why wouldn't she? She had a double here last week. And Must Be Moe competes in the same race that it won last week. 1,100 metres, 0 to 58, must be in the mix. 5, 3 and 6 in the last. Tricky day to find value, but the best bet, as I've mentioned, race 4, number 1, Patria. Just way down in grade and certainly looks capable of returning to winning form. So race 4, number 1, Patria, best bet. Well, the best roughies in the first. Race 1, number 4, Air Blazer, to be ridden by Jason Lyon. Race 1, number 4, Air Blazer. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk. Darwin takes a break for a fortnight with some remedial work to be done on the track. We'll be back here in advance of our next meeting in the Top End, and that is, of course, the 8th of May. But in the meantime, as all roads lead to the Red Centre for Cup weekend, good luck and good punting.